I'm gonna discuss today sticking with a niche as an artist on the internet, and it's complicated. For years, I tried and flopped at sticking with a niche. I have had the same exact art account under a couple changed names, but it's always been the same account since I was probably like 13 or 14. It's now called Elowyn Makes Art. And that Instagram just went through so much over the years because obviously who I was when I was 14 posting my art is really different than who I am now at 26. And there's been tons of eras and you can scroll back and see it all. It's all still there. If you are an artist or creative person, and I assume so since you're watching this video, you probably know the struggle of wanting to experiment and wanting to explore as an artist. And you have so many desires and different mediums you want to try and different subject matter you want to try and different styles of photographing those things and different styles of sharing those things or making videos. And that's just the nature of being creative. You want to be always innovating, experimenting. Where it becomes a struggle online is that you're trying to also play the algorithm and also be appearing for your audience that you've created in a consistent way where they are still interested in the new things that you're trying and doing. And that can be really hard when your audience has come to expect something from you that you're now kind of steering away from because you're trying something new. I think this is why social media can be such a double-edged sword. It is like the most fun, creative, inspiring place to be sometimes, but it also can stunt you and it can block you from doing what you need to do in your personal work as an artist to grow. The harsh truth about social media is that it does reward predictability, and your audience will receive your content a lot better if you have a consistent offering for them. They come to expect something from you, and if it's not meeting what they originally followed you for, it can confuse them and then lead them to unfollow or not be that active. Sticking to what people expect from you and just performing for the internet is counterintuitive to being a creative person, and it's counterintuitive to the process of art making. Artists have to fail, and you have to reinvent, and you have to experiment, and you have to make ugly art an inherent thing that has to happen, and you have to do all those things to make art. It just is part of it. It's not avoidable. Some of us are really strong at the marketing side of art. Some artists are even good at sharing the kind of failures in a very put together, clean way online. Artists that are really strong at the marketing sometimes put that ahead of prioritizing their personal growth as an artist, and their style and skills can remain stagnant. And the reason I'm saying that is because I have been there for years. That doesn't mean I haven't grown at all, but I do catch myself, especially in the last couple of years, I've had a lot of success with my online business. Having that success makes me almost feel like, okay, now this is what's working, so I'm just going to keep doing that, and then I don't focus as much on practicing my skills or trying new things. So yeah, as I have found my online business to be more and more successful, it is definitely more of a challenge to make time for things that could be a failure or a flop. And I think it's normal though to ebb and flow. A lot of us are always working to sell our art, and then once it's selling, now it's the art making's taking a hit, and then we focus on the art making and then the sales take a hit. So it's normal and okay that there's this ebb and flow, and there's an ebb and flow in everything worth doing. I say this a lot to people that are close to me, and I'm going to share it with you. It's kind of vulnerable. I have felt creatively constipated. That's not the cutest thing to say, but that's legit how it feels. I've been feeling creatively constipated for years out of fear that I'm going to undo the progress I have done as almost an art brand. And I have a lot of artistic impulses that I have just not expressed because they don't fall into my art business's niche. And for example, some of those things include darker topics. I also have some kind of strange interests that I feel really do inform the work I do create and share already with all of you. But it's not at the forefront, so you guys don't really know about it, but it's still like all part of it, you know? I am a chronically online person, and ever since I was a kid, loved being on the internet. I've always loved interacting with people on the internet and having attention on the internet and, you know, seeing what other people are doing on the internet. I've always been this way. So I don't think this is necessary for everyone. I think that you should be able to make your art, your personal art, and not have to share it at all. And I do also do that, but I just felt this need to make a online space for specifically like the experimental stuff that I need to start expressing, so I stopped feeling so blocked. So this year I did decide to carve out that space, and I made a new Instagram account. So my current one, I have over 20,000 followers on it, and it took a really long time for it to grow to that point, and I have like a pretty good niche. Like I would say it's very cutesy, girly stickers and junk journaling and yeah, that kind of energy, I'd say. Very like whimsical and fun. And I've created this separate art account starting from ground zero, and that can be really awkward. It is called Patron Saint of Weird Girls, my weird girl art account, because I just need a place to express my weird girl art. And it's so awkward to start from scratch. If you have like started an art account from scratch, like having nobody look at it and be posting things and getting 2 likes, it like is so humbling, especially because I'm pretty used to a higher volume of people seeing my art in that other context. Something I've had to do to shift my perspective is remind myself that this is the most perfect situation for creative growth and to explore and find some like self-discovery in my art, is to have really no one looking at it. With more intention and consistency, like the people will come and I'll find that niche of people eventually. But right now it's really cool to have that space just for like myself. Something I really do like about posting online is that it's an archive for the like rest of your life. Like you'll look back and see what you were posting. It's almost like a journal, but on the internet. And so that's kind of my reasoning behind starting the second art account instead of just keeping it to myself. I almost feel like I'm not being genuine to myself if I only do the more like palatable stuff, which I love to do. And it is genuine to me to do like the cutesy stickers and stuff. I love doing that, and it's very much in line with who I am as a person. But so is investigating some other topics. Like some things that really interest me are religion in America and just America as a place in a very strange time in history. Yeah, I think also just like different kinds of color schemes. Like on my Patron Saint of Weird Girls account, I have been experimenting a lot more with the grays and different shades of like browns and greens and stuff, and that doesn't necessarily translate well to what I'm doing for Elowyn Makes Art, that sticker enterprise. In order to have business success on the internet as an artist, you do have to choose a niche. Even if that doesn't mean like sticking with one medium, like it doesn't have to be as rigid as you think it does, but like you kind of do have to curate it in a certain way so that people aren't surprised by what you're posting all the time, because then they'll get like really confused and exhausted and then they won't know what you're doing. And I honestly kind of do that with my Elowyn Makes Art account. I am definitely not like the guru of social media marketing. Like I definitely still do random stuff and like unaesthetic stuff all the time with that Instagram, but I do a more curated job with it. I just really genuinely needed a space like to do uglier things and messier things. And like I have 2 wolves inside of me, one that has like cute little bows on and the other one that wants to be feral and just be angry and crazy. And I think we're all kind of that way. And just for me as an artist, like I have got to have an outlet for that. So I understand it's important to have a niche as a business person, but as an artist, I need to be able to explore. So that is how I'm currently working with those facts. And I would love to know how y'all perceive all of this, what your perspective is on having to choose a niche or not choosing a niche as an artist on the internet. I'd love to know how you express your art and your artistic impulses as well. So yeah, good talk. I'll see you next time.